Here are the triangle trend indicators for NinjaTrader on 6/27/2012 on the ES2 Renko. There weren't enough bars put in overnight on the 4 Renko to trade, so I just went immediately to the 2 Renko this morning and went long on this bar right here when the swing cycle turned green and moved all the way up here, and the equity crossed above this trend line, which was put in between these 2 pivot points right here, and all the indicators were moving up at this point, signaling a long move, and the Bollinger Band was just, differential oscillator was just crossing above its 0 line right here. So it looked like it would be a nice up move. However, this didn't turn out that way, and so I got out of this trade right here when the swing cycle crossed below the variable band, and that was a 1-point trade. I got back in a long position right here when the swing cycle crossed above the variable band right in here, and after this fairly long squeeze right in here. Now when I went long here, this trend line was not in place. It didn't get placed until this pivot point right here to connect these 2 pivot points, and then the equity moved back down here to this trend line, moved back up here, and when it crossed below this trend line, I got out of this trade, and also the swing cycle would turn red and move down, and you can see it was at its bottom point at 0 line here. There was no trend as shown on the RWO, and there was a down triangle on the binary triangle here, and the DIX had turned red and moved down, and also the Bollinger Band differential oscillator midline turned red, and the Bollinger Band differential oscillator was moving down here. So for all those reasons, it looked like a good place to take 4-point profit right here on this trade. One thing I like about putting in the trend lines is on the pivot points, you can make a lagging indicator into a leading indicator. And this was helpful here with this trend line in here after the equity went below it. That certainly showed some weakness. And there's always a question of where do you draw the trend lines when you're putting in trend lines. And I think pivot points is a very good place to put in trend lines, and I find it very helpful to do that.